Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Prince Albert police have charged a man and a woman after a vehicle was stolen at gunpoint. Police say they were called to the 2600 block of 2nd Avenue West where the vehicle was stolen. Officers learned 4 people were allegedly taking a rideshare when one of them pulled out a gun and told the driver to get out of the vehicle. Police tracked the vehicle where it was disabled on Kemp Crescent. A 26-year-old woman and a 22-year-old man are charged with robbery with violence and possessing property of crime. RCMP in Carrot River are looking for a 24-year-old in connection to a shooting on Red Earth Cree Nation. On Tuesday, RCMP responded to a shooting on Red Earth Cree Nation. Officers found a man with injuries consistent with a gunshot wound. He was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police determined a gray Chevrolet Impala approached the victim and a firearm was discharged. Through investigation, RCMP have charged 24-year-old Julian Kitchener from Shoal Lake with weapons-related offenses. RCMP are working to locate him. Anyone with information is asked to contact RCMP or Crime Stoppers. RCMP in Isle La Crosse have arrested and charged a man armed with a gun and a knife. On Thursday morning, RCMP were called to reports of a man who had threatened 2 individuals with weapons, but no one was injured. A separate assault occurred where the victim reported non-life-threatening injuries to police. Officers found the suspect in a vehicle on Burnout Street. A search found a firearm, machete, and other weapons pictured here. 24-year-old Taza McCallum from Isle La Crosse faces multiple weapons and assault charges and will appear in provincial court next week. Linda Clavel is making history as the first woman to serve as Reeve for the RM of Buckland. Clavel has been a resident of Buckland for more than 40 years and was a councillor from 2011 to 2014. She says she campaigned through Facebook and made it a priority to answer all the comments and messages she received. Clavel says she was encouraged to run for Reeve at the suggestion of community members. She says she hopes to plan a strategic plan based on the needs vocalized by the RM taxpayers.
I was happily retired, and I had some people saying to me, Linda, we need your organization. We need some skills. We need some direction setting. You know, we've got the technical stuff, but we need to know where we should take this RM.
Clavel will be sworn in on Monday. Finally here, Jeff, I was going to say the winds have changed, and how much wind is actually bringing with it this warmth?
Well, we have a lot of warm air out there, and we'll take a look at our map, and there are no watches or warnings in effect right now. Not the case for parts of BC, but I want to point out we do have some rainfall warnings, some cold warnings, but I'm not so much worried about this. What we want is to talk about the precipitation, that warm Pacific air that is impacting the BC coast. Once that moisture gets scrubbed out, it is coming across Saskatchewan. We are going to see a significant increase in the temperatures, and in some cases we'd actually see some showers as we head into the next few days, and we'll talk about that later on.
Educators and Métis leaders from across the province are in Saskatoon this weekend to discuss implementing Métis culture in the classroom. Hundreds are attending at TCU Place today and tomorrow for Métis Nation Saskatchewan's annual Early Learning and Childcare Conference. This year's theme, Weaving the Future Together, focuses on bringing history, culture, and language into education. Métis Nation says the event brings together both Métis and non-Métis educators.
We want to make sure that everyone's here to learn about our culture and our language and the best practices in early learning.
Métis Nation Saskatchewan hopes educators bring the lessons they learned back to their communities and classrooms. Friends and family joined Mildred Kerr at a breakfast this morning to celebrate the 2025 Saskatoon Citizen of the Year. Kerr has been a lifelong advocate, spending considerable time helping those less fortunate. In addition to a career in social work, Kerr has found the Saskatoon Food Bank, as well as serving on boards of the Open Door Society and Equal Justice for All. The work never stops for Kerr, who ended her thank you speech by reminding the crowd the long road to housing homeless people face. Kerr says if there was one piece of advice to help make a difference, she would say, never stop being generous.
Continue to give. It amazes me how generous people are in whatever way. You do what you can, but don't stop doing it. It keeps you healthy.
Kerr says she didn't feel deserving of the honor, but says being the 59th Citizen of the Year is proof that there's been many people before her to do a lot of work in the community. The city of Saskatoon says repairs are being planned after a semi hauling heavy equipment hit an overpass at the Circle Drive Highway, Highway 11 and Highway 16 Cloverleaf in the city's southeast. This was the scene late yesterday afternoon. An excavator was sliced in half after striking the overpass. No one was injured, but all northbound and eastbound lanes were closed for several hours. The city hopes to reopen Highway 11 northbound lanes beneath the structure today. Highway 16 eastbound will remain reduced to a single lane until the repairs are completed. The city says work could begin as early as next week, but there's no timeline yet for how long it will take. Officials also say the driver did not have a permit for the load.
The Saskatoon Police is investigating to decide if charges are warranted, so we're letting that process go through.
The city says a bylaw change last year makes it an offense to damage city property and allows officials to seek cost recovery. Fines can reach $10,000 for a driver and $25,000 for a company. The Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission has given the green light to construct a uranium mine in northern Saskatchewan. NextGen Energy's Rook 1 project is located in the Athabasca Basin near La Loche. Yesterday, the Nuclear Safety Commission gave its approval to prepare the site and construct a mine. When operational, the company says it will be the largest single-source uranium mine in the world. In a release, the company says Rook 1 is capable of producing up to 30 million pounds per year, more than 20% of the current uranium supply and more than 50% of the Western world supply. NextGen says official construction will begin this summer and it's expected to take 4 years to complete. Friday marked the final day of a 4-day move of a massive log house from La Jourde to a spot west of Strasbourg. On the last day of its voyage, the giant structure was moved in 2 pieces and made its way through the Lumsden Valley on Highway 6 this morning. The move was undertaken by Neufeld Building Movers and was broken down into 4 segments. Along the way, the Highway Hotline has provided live updates on the routes affected by the move.
We're just asking everyone to be patient with us and watch the highway hotlines. We give them our live locations so they can track us all day long to see where we're at, and if people are watching that, they'll be able to maybe avoid those intersections and areas.
Neufeld says the 4-day move that saw the house cross several Saskatchewan highways was planned so that the route would have as little amount of impact on traffic flow as possible. When we return, a concert featuring one of the original members of Blue Rodeo. Jasmine Pelche finds out about 2 pianos, no rodeo.
We are with event promoter Clayton to talk about the 2 Pianos No Rodeo show coming up at the Heritage Center. How would you explain what exactly this show is? I looked at it a little bit. I'm still kind of interested in the concept. Like, how are you explaining it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the 2 keyboardists the ex-keyboardist from Blue Rodeo and the current, and they're just going on the road together doing like this piano tour. So usually they do like one person on the piano and then they switch off and the other person, but we're lucky here we have 2 pianos. So it'll be interesting because this will be the first time that they're actually doing it with 2 pianos, so they'll be able to play off of each other. So that's what I would expect from it. I've been told like there's going to be Bob's more of a sort of a anarchist sort of punky style, and then we've got Mike who does more of a psychedelic keyboardist style. So it'll be interesting to see what emerges from the hybrid, right? I got contacted from Bob out of the blue right in my email, and just like took it from there. Had a conversation on the phone with him and Mike, and just started figuring it all out.
Who, I guess, is the target audience for this?
Well, anybody that probably likes Blue Rodeo or likes piano or anything in between. They've both been in other bands that have been other genres and stuff too. So I think just like it's an all ages affair. So like bring the kids. It's going to be starting at 7 o'clock at night on a Thursday. So I made it sure to be a little bit earlier so it wasn't going to be affecting anybody's nighttime. So yeah.
Is it part of a tour?
Yes, they're playing Saskatoon, I think, on the night before. or after. I can't remember. I looked at the schedule briefly, but yes, they're going across Canada, and they play anywhere they can. Sometimes it's in churches because they just need a place with a piano, right? So yeah, they've been going pretty much low to the ground on this, as opposed to playing at some other more higher end venues and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting. So yeah.
What would you say to people to encourage them to check it out?
Well, I mean, just if you're tired of being bored in the city, it's just another way of another genre that's coming into the city more, right? So, I put on punk and metal shows as well, but this is sort of my first foray into the more pop orientated stuff. So I just try and bring a variety of genres besides the stuff that's usually in town, so that people just have something else to go to that might be outside of their wheelhouse, but they've always been interested in, but there's never been the opportunity. So yeah.
Are there any other upcoming shows that you're working on right now?
Yes, we have K-Man and the 45s, which will be at the Studio Q. They are a ska band. They will be, the openers are going to be Broken Idols, which is a ska band from Saskatoon. There's also Caveman and the Banshee. They're coming August 16th, and K-Man is on April 5th. And then there's a few other ones coming up too, but later in May and stuff like that. Usually that's the way it goes around here. It's it picks up during the spring, and then summer, fall, and then we're back into the winter months.
For Two Pianos No Rodeo, how can people find out more information, and where can they go if they're looking for tickets?
For tickets, they can go to Tramps. It's just down the street here on 12th. That's where you can get hard tickets. Go on Facebook. There's information on how to get them through electronically that way. There's a Facebook event page, and it is listed on PA Events.
Why is it important to have shows like this come through, just so people have somewhere to go locally?
Oh, I just moved back here in 21, right, during COVID, and I was just amazed at how many people actually still just go to Saskatoon to see shows. And it's just for me, I try to make sure that all my shows are all ages, because having grown up here, I know how it was just to get around to see shows or something to do. And if you don't have something positive to do, you find something negative. So the reason why I do it, one of the main facets, is to provide some sort of an outlet for people to come and enjoy something, and have an outlet for just that spontaneity and that entertainment that, I don't know, might be different than what they're used to.
Hey, well, thank you for meeting me out here.
No problem.
Jeff has the weekend weather coming up. Also, a new trial developed for patients dealing with ALS. A little bit of back and forth activity. It's warming up, but we might see a little precipitation this weekend.
It looks like it's pretty likely that we're going to see some sort of precipitation, because it could be rain, could be snow. Right now, we have a number of things that are talking about snow. And believe me, these fall colors are not what we're going to be dealing with as we make our way into the next little while. But let's take a look at our satellite and radar shot here. We've got ourselves a lot of active weather on the west coast, and that is going to impact us as that warm Pacific air gets scrubbed free, not completely free of the moisture, but then makes its way across the Rockies. And then a couple of different systems are going to come sliding on through. Let's talk about the one that's coming through tonight. So you can sort of see it starting off in Alberta as sort of rain-snow mix, and then changing mostly to snow as it makes its way into Saskatchewan. That's the second of a series of lows that are making its way through the province. And so we could see more in the way of substantive snow up north, but we don't anticipate it for Prince Albert and southward. -6 degrees for Spiritwood, -6 as well for the Battlefords, -9 overnight for the Candle Lake area, -8 in Birch Hills and Rostern, and Nipawin -10 degrees, -7 in Melfort. Most places dealing with partly cloudy skies, a chance of some light flurry activity and maybe some fog patches showing up. And then we get into tomorrow. So tomorrow's a tricky day, because some of these places, the timing as to what type of precipitation you are going to receive. Depends on when this system moves through. So a windy day. Some places are going to see strong winds, wind gusts up around 60 kilometers an hour, sustained winds at 40 clicks. So that's certainly in place for the Battlefoods. Spiritwood and Rosthern, possible rain-snow mix. That's true of Candle Lake and Nipawin as well. Birch Hill's anticipating just flurries, and a windy day shaping up in Melfort once again. Wind gusts up around 60 kilometers an hour. But 6 degrees for high temperatures in Spiritwood and Rosthern, 7 in the Battlefoods, 5 in Candle Lake and Birch Hills, and 4 the expected daytime high in both Nipawin and Melfort. Here we go for the gateway cities. So a similar situation, a 60% chance of flurries tonight as that system moves in from Alberta, -9 degrees. The wind's backing off a little bit, but then things change. Yes, indeed. Yeah, some fog patches too. Tomorrow, we start off with about a 60% chance of flurries in the morning, and that will change to a slight chance of some afternoon showers. But look at those winds. Westerly winds sustained to 30 clicks, gusting to 40 kilometers an hour. 6 degrees for a high, and then temperatures do drop off on Sunday. Sunday, there's a chance of flurries, -1 degree. And then as we make our way into the early part of next week, -8 on Monday, -6 on Tuesday, -4 on Wednesday. Not much of a change on Thursday, dropping down to -6. But then things do drop off into the minus double digits again. So not exactly a yo-yo or a roller coaster, but we will see a decline in temperatures as we head towards the 1 week from today.
And a decline in the appearance of the outside of your car if it gets all covered in mud and sludge.
I think you're right about that. Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, Jeff, the Paralympics are set to kick off today in Italy. Finishing touches are being put in place ahead of the opening ceremony in Verona. Of the 50 athletes Canada has sent, 3 are from Saskatchewan: para-curler Gil Dash, para-Nordic skier Brittany Hudak, and para-alpine skier Kurt Otway. Hudak kicks off her games with the para-biathlon early Saturday morning. Appearing in her 4th Paralympics, she was named to Canada's athlete leadership team as a co-captain.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
The rising cost of things like groceries has many Canadians buying cheaper, less healthy food to put something on the table. A new survey from debt relief firm Spurgel finds just over 60% of respondents say they skipped meals or reduced their portions in the past 6 months. More than half say they used credit cards, loans, or lines of credit to pay for groceries, and 2 in 5 people say they've delayed paying a bill to prioritize groceries. A Canadian with ALS has been chosen to participate in a treatment trial. It's part of a Health Canada breakthrough aimed at improving outcomes for patients with the disease.
How are you?
Good.
Good. All right, do you want to have a seat?
Raymond St. Pierre has been living with ALS for more than 2 years.
I've grown much weaker. I've lost a bit of balance and my hands, and now my speech is beginning to be affected.
St. Pierre spoke to CTV News Ottawa in 2024 after a promising breakthrough out of Western University.
Like I mentioned in the first interview, there was a light at the end of the tunnel. This could be it.
Researchers then discovered that targeting an interaction between 2 proteins present in ALS-impacted cells can halt or even reverse the progression of the disease. Now St. Pierre has been approved for a first-of-its-kind Health Canada trial.
First in Canada, and since Dr. Strong's discovery out of Western University with the cause of ALS.
Going to give us a reading of how...
He's one of the first patients in Canada to try a medication that is being tested only in Ottawa and Montreal.
Looking at darifenacin and whether it's able to aid patients with ALS to repair their nerve-muscle junction and thereby improve their muscle strength and muscle function. I think the hope is that it'll slow down any progression of the disease. At this point, we don't know whether there will be any reversal or not of symptoms.
Dr. Ari Briner, the one overseeing the treatment, says it's unique.
A made in Canada study, so it's based on groundbreaking cellular and mouse work that was done at the University of Montreal, and the trial itself is only being conducted at 2 sites, both of which are in Canada.
For St. Pierre, he's only a few weeks into the 6-month trial and doesn't know how it could all work out. He could even be on a placebo, something both patients and doctors are not notified of during trial periods.
It's a beginning. It's a start. I'm hoping that it'll slow down the progression for sure. Taking the pills on a regular basis.
But for the 75-year-old, it also gives him hope that he can make a difference in the lives of those living with ALS. Natalie Van Roy, CTV News.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
All right, Jeff, 2 interesting events in the skies over Canada this week, a meteor and fireball in British Columbia and a similar-looking fireball over Calgary last night. This was spotted streaking over Calgary and its surrounding communities. It wasn't immediately clear what the cluster was. The sighting follows a meteor and sonic boom that soared over British Columbia earlier this week. And with all of the fireballs flying around, NASA can confirm the moon is in the clear. The space agency had been monitoring an asteroid that was on a possible lunar collision course, but now looks like the object will miss by thousands of kilometers. That sounds like when I'm shooting on the net in hockey. Thousands or thousands and thousands of kilometers. There you go.
What can I say? It's like those images look very, very impressive of those fireballs streaking through the sky. And all I can say is, all hail our new alien masters.
There you go. So, and you know what? They're probably just trying to get a little bit closer because F1 starts this weekend. We've got the Paralympics kicking off this weekend. It's activities galore.
Yeah,
so that's probably what's
And it is, even though I think we're completely out of it, the Bri will be wrapping up too, but getting down to the nitty-gritty there as well.
Yep. I think we'll have to sort of expand our cheering ranks, though, because I think you're right. Saskatchewan,
I think we're done.
Fair.